Yo, what's going on, guys? Houston Sports Talk Productions back with another video today, and the Rockets have lost once again. But I am so tired of making these lost videos that we're going to change direction. And I know I have been doing this last 2-3 games where if we even not even lose, we have lost on the trade, but what I mean when we don't even lose is when I make the pregame, I talk about the future. And now that I'm not saying this is over, guys, but it's getting to that point, and it's gonna happen in life. But now we gotta move on to the future. Consider some options. The plan was an option. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think it's really an option at this point anymore. That option is pretty much almost dead. It has a tiny bit of a live before tonight, but it is near. It's like, let's say this is dead. It's like right here. Now we're gonna talk about what the Rockets should do in these scenarios. So like it's trades, it's tanking, it's all that stuff. Now let's get into it, guys. So when we start with this video, I'm gonna start with trades. Now, PJ Tucker reportedly wants out of Houston. I'm pretty sure Houston is on the same idea. Houston is wanting the same party. Houston wants to get rid of PJ Tucker. I'm okay with that. PJ can go. So the reportedly interested teams are the Denver Nuggets, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Utah Jazz. I think the Lakers have a little bit of interest too. In my perspective, I think the Rockets should either go grab Markieff Chris, sorry. I think the Rockets, their options here are trade him to Philly for Mike Scott and a second-round pick, or release him. I think PJ Tucker has been, I'm not going to say on both sides, a full attribute to his 3 years here, but he's had some great offensive games. Like, he was great in the playoffs in 2018. He had one of those great games against Golden State when it was that game where Trevor Ariza, PJ Tucker, and Chris Paul were just balling, and Eric Gordon and James Harden struggled. He's done good things. His defense has been amazing here. I think we should respect him, and I think we should let somebody come pick him up. Now, other stands of points. This is talking about another wave that we should make. I think we should let go Ben Mclemore as well. We have basically maybe trashed his career at this point. I do believe we may have just trashed this man's career. This dude looked so good last year, and he looked so good to start the season too. And now that we put him on the bench, his shooting has gone absolutely god freaking cold. He is so cold on the shooting standpoint. It's unbelievable. And when he came in, he was on a hot streak from the field. I think we should waive him and see if another team would give him a chance. I don't know, maybe Brooklyn. Because, I had some ideas about Brooklyn making their bench tight, a little tighter before the season started. And, I was like, pick up Kyle Culver or Gerald Green. And at the time, I didn't know Kyle Culver was basically calling it quits on his career. I don't think they should pick up Boogie Cousins. So that's not an idea for Brooklyn, but I think Ben Mclemore would be great for them. They could maybe pick up the option of getting Gerald Green if they want, but I would, if I have any standpoints of Brooklyn's GM, go ahead and go pick Gerald Green up. I don't know who the GM, forgot the GM of the Brooklyn Nets. But go pick him up. Gerald Green's a great dude. I've met him before. He's a great dude. But moving on to Rockets basketball. Now we get to the fact of David Nawapa. David Nawapa has been playing great this season. Don't get me wrong. But, if we're either, the basic option is on a rebuild standpoint, because there was 3 options. Go full rebuild for like 2 years around Christian Wood and Deshaun Tate, and they'll just like do their thing for 2 years, be an awful basketball team. And the second option was to maybe make some moves and get some young players. Maybe you'll take a year or two because you have a lot of young players, but you may be a playoff threat. Not like a playoff, like win the championship, but like has a good chance to make the playoffs. Not great, but decent. Now, when it comes down to this, the third option was try to make it into the play-in game. This one is not fully eliminated, but it is basically getting down to the point where it is going to be fully eliminated. And in this video, we were not putting up in that the choice. That choice is not available here. I hope it is. I hope it is for the Rockets, but it's not available here. Because we are 11-21, and this is looking absolutely awful right now. We're on an 11-game losing streak. But anyways, so next, what you want to do? Let David Nawapa walk. Let him play some good basketball. I want you to let him make a name for himself this season. Let him make a name for himself until this season runs out, and then let him walk. Same as Karooks. You don't probably not let him make a name for himself because he's probably not going to get on the court, but let him walk as well. Then as is for Justin Patton, I would like him to get re-signed this season and be the backup center. I really like the way Patton is playing. Scored 10 points tonight. And then now we're getting into the big guns. Daniel House, I'd like him to stay on the roster. As of next year, I'd like him to be the 9th man rotation spot. Sterling Brown, I want him to stay. I want him to develop. I think he could get in maybe 11th man rotation spot next year if all of my predictions are right. Of all of what I think the Rockets should do this season. Okay, so number 2. So we talked about PJ Tucker. Talked about Sterling Brown. Next, what we need to do is Mason Jones. Mason Jones, he can stay, but he's probably going to get garbage minutes, but he can develop this season. Maybe same for KJ Martin. I don't know. He may get G League time, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was like 12th, 13th man in that rotation, KJ Martin. Now, as if for Kevin Porter Jr., I want them to he's coming back March 5th. I want them to give him time this season to just get back in shape. I know he's had the G League. Those are some players that are trying to make a name for themselves and care more about that than winning. And he's trying to make a name for himself too because he's trying to get back up to the roster, which he is going to be doing. But because I think he can be a really valuable piece if we are trying to go rebuild, but rebuild now. And so now we're getting into the real big guns. So now getting into Victor Oladipo, it's clear he does not want to be here. The Rockets offered him a $45 million 2-year extension today, and he declined. Now, what I think they should do is send Victor Oladipo. I think the deal was Victor Oladipo. It might have been PJ Tucker. So then I think that the wave that I said or the Philly deal, I think I would take that out because this deal is actually pretty well. So you send PJ Tucker and Victor Oladipo with a 2nd-round pick to Miami. This trade has been presented not by me, by an actual source. I forgot what the source was. I don't know, a reporter. Then we get in return Goran Dragic, Tyler Hero, and a protected 1st-round pick. I like this deal. You get Tyler Hero, he's a starter. Then you get Goran Dragic, he's a free agent this year, but I would hope we'd be able to re-sign him. It's not the death of us if we can't. If this deal does happen. Okay, and then we got that 1st-round pick, which is protected. if they do, they have Oladipo, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Kendrick Nunn, and Bam Adebayo. I wouldn't think that pick would be too high, but we'll take it. Anyways, now as of John Wall. John Wall is a great player, don't get me wrong. But we need to get rid of that contract. So what we should do is we have Gordon Dragic. So this is just my thoughts. This is not real. This is not real yet, but it could possibly happen. Now, I don't know how the cap involves of all this. I haven't wrote all this. I haven't went through this with the cap, but this is what I have. So I think the Rockets should send Eric Gordon. This deal's kind of crazy, but hold on. I think they should send Eric Gordon and Daniel House. I'm sorry, not Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon and Victor Oladipo. I keep saying the wrong player. Eric Gordon and John Wall to the Utah Jazz. I'm sorry for saying the wrong player. Okay, this deal's kind of crazy. It's to the Utah Jazz, and we get Bogey, the one with Utah. There's so many Bogies. There's one in Dallas. There's one in Atlanta, and there's one in Utah. As well with Mike Conley. So then Michael Conley is your starting point guard. Then Michael Conley is your starting point guard. Then that is it. So you got Mike Conley, you got Mike Conley, you got shooting guard Tyler Hero, and then here's the last part. So then you've done all these deals, right? I know this could be a final playoff push, but it's not. What you do after that is you tank. You tank. Now, let's assume you get back Mike Conley. You bring him back in free agency. He's a free agent. So then what you do is you can possibly get Cade Cunningham, but the Pistons and the Timberwolves are gonna get a higher pick than us. They're gonna get a better pick than us. So that's like the third pick. So what you're looking for is a 3. So that's what I suggest is Jalen Green. So we get Jalen Green. You have Tyler Hero, Michael Conley, Jalen Green, Deshaun Tate, Christian Wood. You have KPJ, Goran Dragic, and Bogey. Maybe Tate would come off the bench. I'm sorry, and then Bogey was starting. So Tate would come off the bench. KPJ, Dragic, Patton, House, other guys like Brown, other kinds like that. That's what I think the Rockets should do for the future. And you sign like Dragic and Conley, and I think that's it of the free agents. You sign Goran Dragic and Conley to a 1-year deal. You let those contracts expire, and then I think then the Brooklyn picks start to add in. So then maybe you get Brooklyn picks, and then you try to get younger and get rid of Mike Conley and Goran Dragic. And that's just, and then we go on years to 2025. But that's what I think the Rockets should do with the future, as their future lies in the hands of the draft and trades and signs, free agency, tanking, and all that stuff. But anyways, just end with that. Rockets lose badly to the Grizzlies by like 40 points tonight. I didn't really want to talk about that. So that's it. Please subscribe. Great content coming out from February 26th, which has already happened. So that's been going on for like 3 days. February 26th to March 13th. Yeah, so when the season starts. I got great content coming up. I don't want to give it away. Please subscribe. Smash the like button. Comment what y'all think about my thoughts about the Rockets' future. If it's too much, too little, the Jazz trade stupid, I'll take anything. So I know if I need to improve anything. So yeah. All right. Peace out, guys.